Hi, everybody. My name's Jason.
I'm Caden.
I'm Jaden.
I'm Eli. We're the Yahoo the Odysee Channel.
We can do this. We are the Yahoo and the Torah channel, right, guys?
Yes.
Can we do this? All right. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Everything going all right?
Yeah.
Sometimes the beginning intro doesn't work right. Sometimes if we don't get it in sync and we don't discuss it before we do it, this is what happens. And we just hit a wall when we're trying to get our stick together here. But hopefully you guys are good with us. Hopefully you guys are down. We are the little family that is living in the middle of the jungle, and we have a hurricane coming our way in a couple of days. So for those of our family out there, if you guys would keep us in prayers, we are going to be tightening up this place, but it looks like it's coming right over the top of us. So we shall see what is going to happen. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Everyone good?
Yeah.
You guys survived the Shabbat? We tried to do a Shabbat reading yesterday, and the devils and demons took us to school. It was just a really supernatural kind of event where this, for whatever reason, the application on the device just keeps blowing up over and over and over. Could be the device is too old. We have no idea. But Mr. Cole thinks it's the internet. I think it's the tablet. We don't know exactly what it is, but we are going to try it again, assuming we are still alive by next Shabbat with this hurricane popping over our heads. So we shall see. All right. Now, gentlemen, you guys, I told you all what we were going to do, but for those of you guys out there, we are going to endeavor into a new quest. We are going to go into a little reading of something that if anybody has read the Dead Sea Scrolls and talked and read about the guys, the Qumran guys that are out there, this is what we are not going to read, but this is what it sounds like a small part of this. And so if this is already confusing you guys, I'm very, very sorry because it's hard to explain what we're going to read. What we're about to read is we're about to read a technical guide, a little, it's a boys club guide. It is a club. It is how to make it into the big boys club, how to be part of Yah's team. What it is exactly is, well, we will read it, but this is called the Book of the Order, and this is the writings of Eliyahu. And gentlemen, who is Eliyahu, for those who do not know?
Eliyahu was a prophet. He was a worker of Yah in the days of David, in the days of Saul.
When was he in David?
No, it was way later. No, it was way.
It was way before.
It was way later. So during the days of when the two nations split during Shomron,
we had the bears,
right?
Yeah.
That's Elisha.
Oh, okay.
This is Eliyahu. He was the one who was doing with Ahab and Jezebel, throwing water on the fire and fighting the prophets of Baal and stuff like that. He know that around the same time.
What is the English name that people know this name as?
Elijah.
And what do we know of Elijah? What do we know of his history? What we know that he went away in a chariot of fire.
He's one of the only people that never died an actual human death.
There's a couple of them. There's a couple.
There's
who was it? Who do we have?
There's Enoch, Eliyahu, and then Yehoshua. And towards the end,
Yehoshua died.
Well, then he came back.
Yeah.
And then he disappeared just like the rest of them.
He still died a natural death one time.
Yeah, it was not quite a natural death.
Well,
it is a very unnatural death.
It's a human death.
It was a human death. Yeah, it was a human death. All right. So what else do we know about him, Jade? You've read this over and over and over and over. Give me some tidbits about Elijah.
He is a very good person. He is a prophet. He goes and helps people. He fights the people who are worshiping Baal or worshiping.
Yeah, is he the one that was had
wait.
the altar?
Wait, you said he was a really good person. Didn't he have a whole bunch of kids killed by some bears?
No, that was Elisha.
That's Elisha.
That was
Elijah. I'm even confused.
So that was right after Elijah got taken out of the whirlwind, and Elisha was angry, and then the kids or whatever started calling the ball on its way back.
Who's the one that was fighting with all the prophets of Baal?
That's Elijah.
That's him.
And he's
he slaughtered
threw
them
water
all.
on his own altar, and the fire still came down.
Yeah. That is Elijah. That is the story of Elijah, and most everybody knows the story of Elijah. We get things confused. I get things confused here. Obviously, reading way too much, you kind of forget names, I think, or something of the sort. But at least I got my kids. A couple of them have it down. All right, let's begin. You guys ready?
Yep.
Okay, what do you guys think this is going to be exactly after my description? Because I don't know if you guys have actually read this. You've read this?
I've read it once.
You read it once? Mm-hmm.
I've never read this book.
Oh, you're the other one?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think it's going to be? I say it's going to be like a technical guidebook to a boys' club. What does that make you think?
I think it's going to be something like the secrets of prophethood, the secrets of priesthood.
Yeah, it's something like that. Okay, let's read. Here we go. The Book of the Order. of Eliyahu the Nabai. The record of Eliyahu the Tishbite, which he wrote for his Talmud Elisha.
What's the Tishbite?
It's a group of people.
Yeah,
It's wherever he's from. Like
It's
his
not like an Israelite?
No, I think he probably is.
But
But
it's
it's like the names, like where you have your generations, you have like some family member there said the name. They're gonna be like people after that.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I don't know that. I don't know the answer to that.
Sure.
Yeah, we should figure that out. Okay, the record of Eliyahu the Tishbite, which he wrote for his Talmud Elisha, whom he called from his field in Abel Mecholah, under the Kodesh order of Elohim. Behold, I Eliyahu write this record with my own hand, and no man shall see it until I have ascended into the Shamayim.
So he knew he was going to show him. He knew that.
Well, he knew he was going to go, right?
I thought it was like a surprise event. Like it's time.
Those of us who have just recently read this, which was not me, I read other books.
Like,
Tell us.
he knew for a little bit because he told Elisha he was going away. But he's like, if you see me going away, I will. You can become the next prophet.
Yeah. Okay. 3. Then shall my authority and the keys of my kahuna, which is the kahuna of the fathers, pass to my son Elisha by right of lineage and obedience. Okay. So right out of the gate, this boys' club is a lineage thing, and it's also an obedience thing. Now,
Was he the son? Was it Elisha?
No, not exactly. No,
He was just some dude that traveled around with him.
yeah, for a very long time.
okay, this kahuna came down to me from the fathers by lineage, for I am a descendant of Yahushua, the son of Nun, who was descended from Ephraim, the son of Joseph, through whom the rights of the firstborn descended in Yisrael. Now, do we know that? Are we for sure? Do we know this is Ephraim's? He descended out of this, because this is the first time I think I've heard this.
Yeah.
But
remember
well,
this.
Cade and I are going to be on the same page. You guys have actually read this stuff.
So we're talking about Yehoshua being from Ephraim.
Well, the son of Nun. We're talking about Yehoshua.
Right,
This is old school.
Yeah, right. This is Joshua.
Yeah, being Ephraim,
Yes,
descended
yes,
through the
yes.
son of Ephraim.
Yes.
We know that.
Which is very interesting, right? Because Ephraim and Manasseh, when they were being blessed, Manasseh was the firstborn. He ended up being second, right?
Yep.
And Ephraim became first.
Yep.
Very interesting. Okay, 5. These rights I received when I was but a lad from my father, before he was martyred for the testimony of Yahuwah, and according to the word of Yahuwah. I have appointed Elisha, who is my adopted son, to be my successor in bearing of this work. Nevertheless, not all of my rights shall rest upon him. For Yahuwah hath said, Behold, my servant Eliyahu shall not die, but shall bear with him the keys of this ministry unto the city of Shamayim, until the last days, when I shall send him unto one of his seed, whom I shall raise up to bear the fullness of this ministry again among the sons of men. Now, who are we talking about here? When he's talking about these, who is he going to be sending him to? Are we talking about Yahushua, our Messiah? Or are we talking later, further on, as one of the witnesses of the end times? Anyone have any kind of thoughts on this at all?
I think we're talking later. I think we're going later.
Okay, Jade, let me read this again. My servant Eliyahu shall not die, but shall bear with him the keys of his ministry unto the city of Shamayim, until the last days, when I shall send him unto one of his seed, whom I shall raise up to bear the fullness of this ministry again among the sons
John
of
the
men.
Baptist.
Think John the
I think
Baptist?
John the Baptist.
John the Baptist, very interesting.
So we know that like Yahuwah took a city up right before the flood, right? There was like a
Yeah.
holy city. I think that's where people like Enoch and Eliyahu went for the time being. Is
Maybe.
that city? I don't think they went like straight to heaven or the Shamayim. I think they went there and they were hanging out there for a while.
Could be. Very good thoughts. Anyone else have anything? Before we move on?
No, but it does talk about, since he says and send him to the end, where he will bear the witness again. It does talk about, how Eliyahu and Yehoshua.
It does say last days, though, right? Until the last days.
We know there are some like prophets
every
and
generation thinks we're in the last days. Everybody, all of our forefathers thought it was the time. People thought it was the last days forever.
Humans are always ramping things up and always getting crazy.
We are. We definitely are. Humans are a funny breed. Okay, let's continue on. But he shall leave with Elisha those keys necessary to continue his work in organizing the schools of the Nebiim and the order of Canuck. After this, that the sons of the Nebiim may continue to live after the Kodesh order of Elohim. Okay. Anyone have any thoughts on chapter 1 on this? This particular book is we want to have mad discussion on, right? We want to have massive discussion and try to figure this out. This is something that most people have never ever seen this book. This book, it was hard for us to come by this. I don't even know where we came by this, but we restored this entire book, and this book was completely messed up. Like when we get these scriptures that we're trying to bring into to current times, they're all messed up. You would see words out of place everywhere, and it's just taken us a tremendous amount of time to put this back into order. But I think it's a very important book because this reading are things that all of us should aspire to be part of. That's the reason I'm reading this. Even though it seems like a boys' club or something that is something that isn't for us, please rest assured that lots of stuff in this reading is for us, that we can glean things in our lives, that we can get to that place that we're trying to get. Okay, which is the kingdom to come. 2. Therefore, my son, Elisha, I leave for thee this book of the order, by which thou mayest govern the order of Canuck. For I have organized and governed this order according to the revelations of Yahuwah, to me, and under the direction of his Ruach HaKodesh. I give these instructions. Everyone who desireth to enter the order of Canuck must be one who loveth Yahuwah, his Elohim, with all his heart, might, mind, and strength, and one who loveth his fellow man as himself, according to the word of Yahuwah, through Moshe.
So is it Order of Canuck? I can't tell if it's like
that's
the book of Canuck or if he had another book.
I don't know. That's the question.
Didn't it talk about Enoch, how he wrote like 300 books, something like that?
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff we do not have. We only have scraps of paper of what Enoch actually wrote, and the scraps of paper are amazing because what we glean from that is simply incredible. Now, I don't know if we're dealing with like an order of if the order of the ancients is part of the order of Canuck, but it talks about this all the time. Now it says to enter into this, you need to love Yahuwah with all your heart, might, mind, strength, and your neighbor as yourself. Where have we heard this before?
This is the Torah. This is repeating.
This is the Torah. Yeah, this is simply the Torah. There's nothing different. There's nothing strange at all. Sorry for my dog going crazy over there, scratching his back somewhere. Okay, let's continue. 3. He must covenant to live the Torah of consecration and to hold all things common with his brethren, according to the pattern set by our first parents. For when they came forth from the garden, they divided not up the land, but held it in common, until their posterity, through wickedness, began to lay claim to it themselves. Behold, this private ownership of the property came to pass through the teachings of that evil combination, which was organized by Cain, that men might get gain for themselves, because the love of Elohim and man is not in them. Okay, let's talk about any of that right there.
We do know Cain, Satan went and taught Cain and his generations all perfect things, all like evil things, like war, fire, all these things that Seth's generations never learned from Satan. They had to learn basically on their own.
Yeah, there was like a certain spell they had to like give them like human powers, like give them like special powers that Satan taught them. That
black magic,
humans
sorcery.
Humans were not supposed to have back then. Nobody was supposed to have it ever.
Yep. And that's one of the things that King Nimrod had that ended up he ended up getting a whole bunch of power along with the clothes that they got. Now, this is interesting, though. It says he must covenant to live the Torah of consecration and to hold all things common with his brethren. What does it mean to covenant? What does it mean to live the Torah?
It means to make it part of your life. It means to live as the Torah says to live.
A covenant is like a rental agreement. There's a set of guidelines, there's a set of things that our Creator says, I will do for you, but to be in this covenant, you must do this for me. And if we both agree upon this covenant, then we are in the covenant. But if you are not obeying the laws, statutes, and commandments of our Creator, then you are out of covenant. And, that's the power of free will. We have all been given free will that we can choose what we want to do. We can live the life we want to live, how we want to live it. It is up to us. It is also up to us if we wish to choose the laws, statutes, and commandments of our Creator and our Messiah, which is what Scripture says we should. Okay, 5. He who entereth the order must be one who is dedicated to seeing the face of Elohim and receiving from him the promise of eternal lives. Okay? I mean, that seems simple enough, right? It's whoever wants to enter the order must be one who's dedicated to seeing the face of Elohim. How would it look like? How do we look people that are wishing to see the face of Elohim? Do we have our giant plate of pork chops and bacon strips and lobster and shrimp and all you can eat at Red Lobster? Is this trying to find the face of our Elohim?
No.
Why?
To be doing what he says, what his Torah says, and being obedient to him. You'd want to be helping people. You'd want to be obeying his Torah, because if you're breaking his Torah, you're not going to see Elohim.
So if we are disobedient to his Torah, are we seeking the face of our Creator?
No.
Whose face are we seeking?
Probably Hasatan's.
Hasatan's. We're looking at our daddy, the devil, who if you do not keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, our daddy is the devil. That's just the truth. Okay. 6. Is it 6, Ron?
Yep.
He must keep the commandments and statutes of Yahuwah his Elohim, to do what is good and upright in the sight of Elohim, according to that which he commanded through Moshe, the Torah giver, and through his servants, the Nebiim. So far, this doesn't sound like anything other than strictly Torah keeping.
You know,
anything else?
Something I like was Moshe the Torah giver, because everyone's like, Moses' law. No, he was just the giver of the law. It wasn't his law. He was just the one that delivered. He was the mouth.
Absolutely. And we know from all these extracurricular books that these guys all had Torah. Everybody had Torah. Everybody was keeping Torah. They had law, statutes, and commandments. They had sacrifices long before the days of Moshe. Okay. Anything else on this, gentlemen?
I do not think so.
Okay. 7. He who seeketh to enter the Kodesh order of Elohim must be one who loveth that which Yahuwah loveth, and hateth that which Yahuwah hateth. Well, that seems simple enough. It seems like we could all enter into this Kodesh order, or at least apply to it, right? Because those who are Torah keepers are doing all of this stuff so far. How do we enter the Kodesh order of Elohim?
Well, we would love what Yahuwah loves, which is doing.
What does Yahuwah love?
He loves the Torah. He loves his neighbor.
What is one word that we can sum up what Yahuwah loves as?
Obedience.
Or that's a good one. Or righteousness, right? If we are seeking righteousness, and you wouldn't know even what righteousness is if you don't have the Torah, if you don't have the words of God, if you don't have the first 5 books, you don't know what even Yah loves. And that is the sad truth, is right here, is this is what the Christians will never ever know, because they don't keep the law, statutes, and commands. And they will never know what Yah loves, because they live in disobedience. But they will know what Yah hates, because that's what they will be judged upon. 8. He must keep all the evil far from him, and love to do good, that his works may bear testimony of his righteousness before Elohim and man. He must be governed by the principles of truth, righteousness, and justice in all he doeth, while in this mishkan of clay, having repented of his inclination to follow after the dictates of the flesh, no longer doing evil according to the selfishness and jealousy and contentious spirit which dwelleth in the natural man.
So basically, if you want to be part of the order of the ancients, you got to put everything away. You got to put all your sin away. You got to be in the Torah and only Torah.
And what I found really fascinating with this verse right here is it talks about the mishkan of clay. What is that?
That's it could be us, or
That's us.
and also they built the other temple.
I don't think they built the temple out of clay. I think they built it out of rocks. The temple of clay is us, right? That is who is Yah's people, the temple. We are Yah's, that we are in a sense, we are the power of Yah if we will take his covenant, if we will take his ways. And so the mishkan of clay is absolutely us. And it says, having repented of our inclinations to follow after the dictates of the flesh, right? The dictates of the flesh are watching TV, right? There are so many of us that are stuck in television. It has been probably, I think Mr. Cole said, 10 years since we've ever flipped that TV on and ever watched television programming, right? That is what the inclinations of evil are, right? When we watch evil, and all you would have to simply do is watch 5 minutes of Friends or Seinfeld or one of these comedy shows, and you're corrupted, because it's all about homosexuality. It's all about vileness. It's all about adultery. It's all about all the things that our Creator is not. But yet they sit there and produce this on TV, and then they have laugh tracks, and you'll sit at your house, you'll just eat your popcorn, you'll laugh with them as you're becoming corrupt. Because once you see this, your eyes are the windows to your soul. You can't undo it. The nasty, dirty jokes, the naked girls, all of this stuff, naked guys, it will still be in your mind. You can't get rid of this, which is why we need to attune ourselves, why we need to align our lives, our mind, our heart, our soul, every last being, we need to dedicate it to our Creator. And if we're not doing that, why would He ever dedicate anything to us? 9. Every member of the order must be dedicated to bringing into a bond of mutual love all those who are striving to live after the Kodesh order of Elohim. To live after the order of the ancients means that they must live in the community of Elohim's elect, holding all things common and loving one another as themselves. Now, this is where it gets into the kind of the Dead Sea Scrolls, because this is where it's not just talking about, it's talking about a community, right? And this is where this, unfortunately, this would, we don't have communities, right? We don't have an Israel that we can go that is a holy land that people have decided not to corrupt the land. The only Israel we know has abortion clinics all over the place, and they're right now they're destroying a group of people. It's wild over there. So, anyone have anything on this?
Not exactly. We just can't. We don't have people to hang out with, right? There's no community. There wasn't a place of prophets. There wasn't a place where people are sitting here studying like this.
And that's a lot of the things with the Qumran guys, the guys that were over there. They have this times 100, right? They have all of this, and then they have a tremendous amount of rules for their own stuff. They're not bad things, and I don't think they're Torah breaking. I think they were astute people that were seeking Yah with everything that they had. All right, let's continue on. Yea, they must unite in one heart and one mind. For only thus can Zion be built up in its perfect order and the name of our Elohim be glorified. What does it mean to unite in one heart and one mind?
Basically, they'll all be following the same thing. They all be accepting of what it was and following the same.
Do we live in this world now?
No.
We have a Trinity, right? Are we all of one mind with the Trinity? Everyone thinks that Messiah and Yahuwah and the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, are the same individuals.
We have like hundreds of thousands of different religions, right? Nobody's on the same track. Even
45,000.
Even people that keep the Torah, some of them are off on their own.
Well, yeah,
ideologies on it.
Everybody goes. Yeah, everybody picks what they think they are understanding, and it is wild. We are absolutely not in one mind, but I do not think we will ever be in one mind until Messiah comes and unites us. And I think that will be the uniting thing, where everybody with their calendars, they're going to go, oh, we had the wrong calendar, and then we're going to unite under the King, which I hope is coming soon. 12. Those entering the Kodesh order must have shown by their works their desires to live according to all that Elohim has revealed, to keep all his commandments, to be perfect, their lives to perfect their lives according to Elohim's Kodesh order, that they may be sanctified by the blood of the covenant unto the renewal of the spirits and their bodies. They must love all the children of light, each according to his position in the house of Elohim. For those who live the highest Torah are most able to be loved, and so forth, even unto the lowest Torah of Elohim. What are we talking about, boys?
Well, basically, those who do the best in Torah will get loved more, but even those who stumble with the Torah should still be loved.
Yeah. The Torah is for everybody. Even the wicked, it can be for, if they so choose it. 14. They must hate the works of darkness and avoid intercourse with the sons of Belial, each according to the measure of his guilt. For Elohim will bring every work into judgment, and those who associate with the wicked will be condemned.
Yeah, this is like, don't
them.
mix with the nations. Don't like become part of them. This is where you don't walk in their manners. This is where you don't marry into their rituals. You don't marry into their ways.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And we should be hanging out with the people who are Yah's people, right? If you start hanging out with the world, pretty soon you're going to start becoming part of the world. Pretty soon you will be accepting the things that the world does. And it is very, very clear in scriptures that if you love the world, you do not love Yah. You do not love God, right? That is basically a thing. And there's no way that we could. We cannot be in love with the thing that the devil has given power to out of great darkness. We can't just be cheering all of this on, because you look out your window, the world is corrupt. You look on TV, the world's corrupt. You look everywhere, it has corrupted itself. You ask anybody out there, do you know the Torah of Yahuwah? Do you know even what God's laws are? And the first thing everybody will tell you is that the laws are no more. They don't apply to us anymore. So we are living in a godless world right now. We are living in a pagan society where everybody has different gods and everybody follows under their own ways. And this is why this reading, I think, will be very, very good for all of us, because this is a exact guideline of what the holy guys from back in the days were doing. How did they account? How did they write? How did they read? This is how they read it. This is how they wrote it, right? This is how they said that we should be linking our chains into Yah's kingdom is simply by this. And so even though this is for a little community of guys way back in the day, this can absolutely be for all of us in our community today, because we can keep these same rules and regulations, which if you read the Torah, it's no different, right? We're not reading anything new. If you guys have read the first 5 books of scriptures, then none of this, what we're reading here, should make any difference to you, because you guys know the Torah. So with that, guys, we hope that this book and this reading is good, that you guys will enjoy this, that you guys will bring something out of this, that you guys will be seeking the kingdom, because the kingdom is going to come and is going to go, and the people are going to come or they're going to go, and it's just going to be quick, and we never know when it's going to be. So with that, everybody, we hope that you guys have a wonderful day. We thank you guys for hanging out with us during this discussion, and we are out.
All right. Shalom.